Good morning, friends. Hello. Thanks for coming in. We're going to get started with the news you can use in just a second. Let's see. Welcome. Hi, Mark. Hi, Pink. All right. So I'm going to jump right in just because I'm a little later getting started than I anticipated. So sorry about that. But hello, I am Sophie of standwithsophie.com. This is your source for survival guides and live trainings and printable action cards and secure comms and all kind of things to help us get through the Fourth Reich together. So that's my bag. But ultimately, the reason I'm here with you this morning is because I was lucky enough to escape the United States. And so because I now live in the UK and I'm 5 hours ahead of America, I'm here to bring you some headlines that might matter today from the future. So from 5 hours into the future. So hopefully you find this helpful and allows you to know what's going on without having the news be this huge drain on your day. So let's jump right into it. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the taps already. Really appreciate that. Let's see. So we're going to, as always, talk about how today in the Fourth Reich marks day 115 that Adriana Smith is being used as a human incubator for her son, even though she is brain dead. So 115 days in, she was declared brain dead when she was just 9 weeks pregnant. So now her fetus is viable. It's at about 24 weeks. And so it's pretty deplorable what they're doing to her. But this is just what we can come to expect and expect more of in Trump's America, unfortunately. The last real news article we have on it is this one that states Adriana Smith's case isn't fiction. It's forced pregnancy in real time. And yes, we are absolutely in the Handmaid's Tale prequels right now. So it's pretty unfortunate. Moving on, just to update you guys on the LA situation. I refuse to call them LA riots. These are ICE protests. And they've also effectively moved outside of LA. There are protests happening all over the country. From New York to Texas to, Georgia, we're seeing. So it's really nice that people are really rallying behind our, more particularly our Hispanic brothers and sisters. But this is, of course, something that affects all immigrants. And so, and also people with temporary protective status and people who have green cards and people who are on student visas. So really glad to see that this is, touching the national ethos. It's great. And another thing that's kind of happening with this is that an appeals court has actually allowed Trump to keep the National Guard in LA temporarily. This is despite the fact that he federalized them, which hasn't been done in 60 years and hasn't ever been done in order to actually put the military against the United States people. It's also in the face of the mayor and the governor asking them to not do this and telling them that they don't want this. It's also in the face of now we're on the 7th day of these protests. Thank you, Steve. Oh, that was adorable. Hi, how are you today? But yeah, it's just in the face of all these things that are unwanted and uncalled for. There was even a Jimmy Kimmel segment where he actually had one of his, on the street guys go out and to this tiny square where all these, protests were happening. And literally people are still protesting just on the side of the road, very calm. The National Guard's on the other side of the road, just looking bored. So it's not this hellscape that Trump's making it out to be. And again, they're on day 7 and things are very calm, very chill. And it's like they just want to keep recycling these Waymo fires from the very first day that, again, were dealt with, were handled. The city and the state are very capable of doing so. Yeah, exactly. I forgot the Rodney King riots. So yeah, the LA riots is taken, and these are not riots. These are now peaceful protests. There was the incidents of the car fires, but apart from that, which was quelled and handled by the city, yeah, there's just no reason for Trump to have the National Guard there, especially again considering the fact that they're happening all over the country now. So he's just going to send the National Guard everywhere. And the thing is, he could, because the EO or the proclamation or whatever that he put forth in order to federalize the National Guard in LA wasn't just specific to LA or California. It did not denote or designate a particular place. So yeah, he could actually start sending the military anywhere that he wants to, according to that. Not only that proclamation, but the fact that an appeals court is approving him to keep those people there. Let's see. Military was called in 92. Yeah, but that was probably by the actual governor. I mean, I'm not making this up. This is the first time in 60 years that the president has called in the National Guard into a state. And when it was done 60 years ago, it was to protect the protesters who were protesting in a civil rights movement. So, again, I'm not making it up. I don't understand why you would think I would make it up. That's interesting. Yeah, 92. Sorry. 92 was, I guess, the governor brought in the military at the start. It wasn't peaceful. Yeah, I talked about that already. All right. Yeah, Johnny, I feel like I addressed that already. All right. So moving forward, Pete Hegseth has also refused to commit to following a possible court order on the Marine deployment to LA. And so, even though I don't think that we're going to get there, I know they had like 200 Marines that were kind of getting prepared with, deployment to LA. I don't think that's going to happen just because everything's really, really calmed down. The thing is, though, tomorrow we have the No Kings protests. So I bet things are going to ramp up, in a big way across the entire country. So who knows if that's really what they're trying to keep everybody in on the Marines, the military side, on deck for. But as of now, the thing that really, really strikes me with this title or with this headline, that Hegseth refuses to commit to following a possible court order on the Marine deployment, is that, I believe him. What Maya Angelou says, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I believe him. I bet money that even if the courts rule that, hey, bringing in the Marines is a bit much, don't do it. If they say don't, um, they don't give a shit. They're going to do it anyway. I absolutely think that's something that, um, they won't, adhere to or abide by. And this is coming in the face of them actually getting a win with that appeals court that let them keep the National Guard there. So it's kind of like wild to me how there's this pattern of this administration, whether it be the president or anybody in his cabinet, not utilizing Congress. Like, think about all the stuff that Doge did. I'm going to mention an article that's literally just today invoking congressional support for a Doge initiative. But this is what, 100 and something, 4 months in, that we're actually seeing one single cabinet actually utilize Congress. The president hasn't utilized Congress. The first time he's really, really pushed Congress to do anything beyond putting in installing the cabinet members that he wanted was this big, beautiful bill. And so it's wild to me that, we've basically been coasting on EOs and proclamations this whole time. There has been no actual legislation. And he is in control of the House and the Senate. So how does that make any sense? So, that's why when people ask me, like, oh, why can you say we're in a constitutional crisis? And a lot of people I know who share that sentiment that, yes, we're in a constitutional crisis, allude to the fact that the judiciary has been overlooked. That, especially when the gentlemen were sent to CCOT and the judges were saying you need to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia home, and the judges were unilaterally saying that some of these things were not good and to don't do them, and they were being ignored. people were saying then, oh, that's when we knew we were in a constitutional crisis, when they were overlooking the judiciary. I knew when we started overlooking the legislative branch, okay? Like, again, they're in full control of the House and the Senate. But has he once actually passed a law on anything? Has he passed a law? Has he put a bill forth for anything? No. So it's again, I feel like I'm not happy, but I feel like I called it pretty early. But I definitely am not happy about that. I wish we weren't. Yeah, the constitutional crisis is that we are in a unitary executive right now. We're under a dictatorship. And again, just looking at this headline that that Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, is literally saying beforehand that I don't give a shit what the judiciary says. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. It's insane. It's insane. Thanks so much, Donald. I appreciate the engagement, friend. Um, okay. Thanks for sharing the live. I appreciate that. See. Sorry if I'm missing some comments. Especially if you're commenting on Kick or YouTube or something. I tend to engage more with TikTok. Sorry. And it's sad because TikTok can't even see all the visuals up together. I'm literally showing the news everywhere else. So hopefully I can get my little studio together so you guys can see these too. But yeah, let's move on. Anyway, in California, staying on California, the big news today is that California Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from Kristi Noem's LA press conference. I do have some video of that, so let's flip that to show you what that was all about. And you can probably hear it if you're on TikTok. So they're like grabbing him. He's a big man. He identified himself. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. Kristi Noem tried to say that he didn't identify himself. He did. They literally, two, three men are forcibly pushing him out of the press conference. There's not a lot of people there. And now an officer has grabbed him. There's three officers. They've placed him on his knees on the ground. Now he's face down on the ground. And they are arresting him for asking a fucking question, y'all. He said he was there peacefully. He had a question. He began to ask the question. All right. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are in the Fourth Reich, my friends. But the thing is, as bad as this is, isn't this bad? Didn't we just have like a Bass in New Jersey being arrested for trying to inspect an ice facility? Didn't we just have Al Green being publicly censured for, again, making a statement during Trump's speech? Like, I hate to say it, because I'm very much an optimist, y'all. I'm such an optimist. But lately, it's like, I can't ignore the writing on the wall, you guys. Like, it's absolutely crazy that this level of fascism is playing out before our eyes, and I'm willing to bet money. Like, Cash App, I will literally pay you if anything comes of this. If anything fucking comes of this, nothing's going to come of this. Like, it's unfortunate that this happened, and it's so sad, and it's really indicative of so many things, but nothing's going to come of this. Nothing's going to happen. I highly doubt this will stay in the news beyond the weekend. It's sad. Nothing's going to happen. So that's my prediction. Hopefully, who knows, like, what the thing will be, or if there will be a thing that wakes people up, especially some of the people in my comments here. I don't know why you're still here. I mean, thanks for the internet points. I really appreciate the engagement. Keep tapping, keep following, keep sharing, do all the free stuff, But yeah, I don't know what it will take to change people's minds, but if it wasn't anything that's happened so far, I don't see how this guy thinking that he got arrested for asking a question is going to do a damn thing. So it's unfortunate, but here we are. I mean, again, we're in the Fourth Reich, my friends. So let's keep going. it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So anyway, let's jump back into the news, the headlines you can use. Again, just to sort of let you know, I have a few people here now. Thank you. Hello. I am Sophie of standwithsophie.com. It's my home for survival guides. We do live trainings. We have printable action cards in multiple languages, including Ukrainian. So sorry, I'm so stupid. But yeah, we have Arabic, Mandarin, all kind of languages to help you have on-hand information in case something goes down. We have phone shortcuts. We have secure comms, all kinds of stuff. So check me out at standwithsophie.com. I'd very much appreciate it if you join my team. But I am also very fortunate that I escaped America. So I live in the UK. Since I'm 5 hours into America's future, I'm just here to give you the news from the future so you can know what headlines might matter today ahead of you going to work or starting your day. So just to keep moving, we're going to talk about very briefly how DeSantis omitted references to LGBTQ and Hispanic communities in his latest Pulse Remembrance. Um, so ever since 2019, when DeSantis has been marking the day, June 12th, yesterday, of the Pulse nightclub massacre, essentially, he's acknowledged that this has, primarily been terrorism against the LGBTQ and Hispanic communities. And now he's no longer doing that. He just said a horrific act of terrorism. That's it. That's all he said. And so it's just really telling. It's just yet another instance of this whole DEI, gay LGBTQ plus erasure that's happening in Trump's America. It's pretty abysmal. Linguini, I see you have a guest request. I'll pull you up really quickly. And while I'm doing that, let me flip it so people on YouTube and stuff can hear you. All right, 1 second, sweetheart. Let me. Okay. Linguini, how you doing? Did a headline percolate up to the top for you today? All right, let me pop it back to the news. Sorry. Okay. So just to keep going with some news, again, we were just talking about how language matters, words matter, and the fact that the governor of Florida has essentially omitted the LGBTQ and Hispanic communities from his remembrance of the Pulse nightclub massacre is pretty fucking awful. And so, again, language matters. Language matters, friends. So yeah, moving forward again, we're starting to see some of these ramifications of Trump's real war on emergency services for some meteorological services for some reason. So NORAD, NOAA, even the FAA, have been absolutely attacked. He's talking about disbanding FEMA at the end of the hurricane season. Like, it's insane. And yet now we have flooding in San Antonio that has left 5 people dead. There's rescue operations ongoing. That's good to see, but it's just telling that we have all these natural disasters. We now have a president who doesn't believe in climate change, who doesn't give a shit that emergencies happen. The person he put in charge of, I want to say FEMA, was it FEMA? But there was a person who was put in charge of one of these emergency organizations who didn't even know that America had a hurricane season. So you just have these fully incompetent people. Like, what's that word? Kakistocracy. We're in a kakistocracy where just the stupidest, worst people have been put into places of power and positions of power, including the freaking presidency. So, yeah, we're fully not only in a dictatorship and an authoritarian fascist regime, but we're in a kakistocracy and autocracy. We're in all the ocracies right now, so it's pretty abysmal. So again, just keep your eyes on this. You know, if you have a storm system approaching where you live, or if you're in Hurricane Alley or Tornado Alley, excuse me, or if you live in a place that gets frequent earthquakes, you know, now's the time to start being prepared, making sure you have water filtration systems or life straws on hand, that you have all of your documents in waterproof, fireproof bags, that you like literally just start thinking ahead because you're not going to get the help that you need. You're not going to get the help that you need, especially starting, you know, at the end of by the end of this year. So, you know, just things to keep in mind. It's unfortunate. Now, some of the things that that Congress does seem to have the time and attention for. The House GOP has just approved a $9.4 billion package of Doge cuts, and they only got that approved by one single vote. So it's absolutely insane. America First says DeSantis says that we can run rioters over, and you're laughing like you think that's a good thing. Like, is that what you're planning to do then? Like, maybe somebody should keep an eye on you, friend. Polly, hi. How are you? Oh my gosh, you guys. The goat is in the house. Polly Murray. Follow her, please. She is just an amazing, amazing woman who reads to us every day and in such a beautiful voice. So Polly, absolutely follow her. She's wonderful. So yeah, so House GOP approved a 9.4. Okay, hi baby. I thought I got away with it. You see, every day I know I have my little girl here with me, but she actually fell asleep in her little cot for the first time in ever. It didn't last long. Hi, baby. She's kind of waking up. Hi, baby. I might need to grab her in a second. But yeah, just so it's sad to see that Doge cuts have passed to the tune of $9.4 billion. But does that sound like $2 trillion to you? Does that sound like $1 trillion to you? Does that sound like $500 billion to you? Does that sound like $184 billion to you? Weren't we promised all these savings and benefits? Weren't we promised a cut in waste, fraud, and abuse? Have we seen a single lawsuit go out to anyone for committing fraud, which is an actual crime that you can be charged with? Have we seen anybody actually get, penalized for abusing the system in any way? No. So we're down to $9.4 billion in savings or cuts, essentially, by Doge. What a anticlimactic milk toast. just kind of a ending to Elon Musk's reign in government. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, they also found time, the House GOP, to claw back $1.1 billion from public media. So it says the U.S. House voted Thursday on a rescission. Yes, baby. She is so cute. Oh my god. But the U.S. House voted Thursday on a rescission bill to claw back money for foreign aid programs along with the next 2 years of funding for the public media system. The measure now goes to the Senate, which again undoubtedly will pass. I don't know why we think the big beautiful bill has any trouble. It's going to be fine. They're going to pass it. It's going to just continue us down the road of this hellscape that we're living in. But yeah, so I feel like this is yet another thing. Sophie! Hey, Sophie! Thanks so much for joining, you guys. Yeah, keep tapping. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the hearts. Share this out. Make sure you follow. Do all the free stuff. You know, I have goals, but you don't have to spend a little penny if you don't want to. Just do the free things. We're here on the daily because, again, I live in the UK. I'm able to give you the news you can use from the future. So hopefully it's helpful to you to start your day with just learning about what's going on. And there's things that happen. Like we had the flight from India to London that were 290 people have passed away. We've only seen one survivor so far. Like that's horrible. But I feel like that's not a headline that's really, keeping into focus that we are in the Fourth Reich. I feel like every headline I'm trying to present you with is one to, help you keep your eyes open, help you to understand things that are coming. So just in the last one we talked about with the House clawing back support for public media, this is now our cue as a citizenry to support NPR, to support PBS. So I know you see, at the end of Reading Rainbow and stuff, we have support from viewers like you. I know if you listen to NPR the way I do, every 5 minutes they have some kind of funding goal. There's some kind of funding goal they're trying to reach. Help them reach them, because this is all we've got to have a truly independent journalism and media source for our children and just for amazing news. NPR and PBS both have just excellent coverage and journalism. It just astounding. Follow them on social media. Buy their cute little socks that they sell sometimes. Like literally, get on like a monthly plan to support if you can, because this is it. It's up to us now because it's not going to be the government helping them anymore. And I think the government only accounts for maybe 10% of their funding in the first place. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's like the majority by any stretch of the imagination. So we can do this. We can keep a hold of our public media, but it's just going to be our responsibility moving forward. So just keep that in mind. So moving on to some international news, and thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for the gifts and for following. I love you. I appreciate that. So in international news, I'm gonna have to watch my mouth because TikTok doesn't like to talk about his reel, but they just hit Iran. They hit their nuclear and missile facilities, and this was just yesterday, and it's just really telling that we're now on this path, I guess, with the no war president, with the president who wasn't going to start any new wars or whatever. But we literally the U.S. just called for all of our diplomats to leave the Middle East because there was tensions. There were tensions rising in Iran, and so now we're seeing why. We're seeing what happened. So his reel hit them, and then Iran. This is, I think, just this morning. Iran launched drone strikes back on Israel, and directly it says more than 100 drone strikes. Yeah, just this morning. So in retaliation, of course, because Iran promised to retaliate, and they did so swiftly and with 100 drone strikes, which is crazy. And it's not crazy to defend yourself and to retaliate, but yeah, just the fact that we're starting to see the start of World War, who knows what now. It's devastating. It's devastating. So I know with World War One, we can point all the way back to the unaliving of Franz Ferdinand during a military parade. Was it a military parade? Some parade. He was in a car, and the car got rerouted, and somebody was trying to like assassinate him, and they missed their mark, and then luckily the car got lost, and it got into this whole, and he was pew-pewed. And I guess because he was the ambassador for some nation, and it was seen as an act of aggression, and it caused just this domino effect of things that again led to World War One, which led to World War Two, which led. So it's like really kind of wild that you can pinpoint these huge disasters to this one incident that happened. And so it's crazy that we can literally do the very same thing right now. Like history is unfolding, and we're very much able to say that the start of it was America putting Trump in office, and it's literally caused the whole world to go to hell. So that sucks, but that's it for international news. As far as as far as just what I'm trying to do here, I absolutely hope you guys will again go to standwithsophie.com. I will give you my quick 3-minute recap so we can use that for the gram. And just let you know the headlines really quickly that are important. Sophie, thanks. Hi. She said, Sleazy said, show me how Trump is part of this. If you need to be shown, then I'm just going to assume that maybe you're blind and I can't do anything to help you with your vision problem, sweetheart. Sophie said, yep, during a parade in an open top car. Exactly. Yeah, I'm on Insta. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. Right now, I'm staying with Sophie, but I began life, if you will, as Sex with Sophie. So my platform was all about adult education. I can't really go into too much of it, but yeah, like trying to help people understand about the goodness of life. And so I have a podcast, the SX with Sophie podcast, where I interview people from different walks of sexual life, and really got into politics inadvertently because I have a program called Ask Sophie. So my members from my site would ask me questions, and I would give them like these 2 hour long, fully researched video documents, on the responses. So we had questions about like trans women, especially trans women in the in sports. We had questions about oh gosh, just all kind of things that were like ABs, you know. So things that were really starting to hit topics that were coming up a lot in the news, and then the whole election cycle started, and I found that I was overlapping so much with my sexual content with Roe versus Wade being overturned, with all these LGBTQ plus issues coming up, and so it's still me trying to be an educator. That's kind of how I overlapped into talking more about the political nature of things. But then the fact that I live in the UK, I was like, oh my God, I can't be disappeared for not only talking about the sexual things that were coming up with the election and stuff, but just in general, everything. I mean, like I have a master's degree in informatics, and so I'm steeped in knowing how to research, how to find studies, how to understand them, how to analyze them, how to look at data. And so, again, this is just me trying to apply my very unique set of skills. I have a unique set of skills. Thanks so much, Sophie. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so that's me. So now I'm, standwithsophie.com, where again I offer survival guides. We have live trainings that we do to try to literally go through your phone. Oh my God, Polly, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Those are so cute. But yeah, just trying to offer a way to help us all get through Trump's America, through the Fourth Reich together and safely. And this is not like us trying to be preppers. This is us trying to really build community and help each other, and understand ahead of time. It's what I call set it and forget it survival. In fact, tomorrow I have a live event I'm going to do called Set It and Forget It Survival, if you want to join. Where we literally just go through your phone and make sure you have 2-factor authentication on, that you're not being, having calls forwarded that you weren't aware of, that, you have phone shortcuts set up, that if you get stopped, if you get detained, if somebody's at your house, you can just say a word and it sends your location to your closest emergency contacts, that it starts filming instantly. Like, really just doing things now so that if shit pops off, you're ready. I have gear lists. I have instant clickable shopping carts where you can just have everything you need for your go bag for, whatever situation. So again, go to standwithsophie.com, join my community there. I have secure comms where we can keep in touch with each other without having to worry about like Pete Hegseth misused Signal. Let's use it to our advantage. Let's use it in the way that it's meant to be used to help build community and keep each other safe. And so that's really what I'm doing with my life. This is my day job. So thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Sophie says, hopefully it won't be Trump's America for much longer. We're seeing articles that are really showing there's a lawsuit even, and I can't even talk about it because I've had videos banned, and I have a strike on my account just for talking about it. But there's evidence that things weren't as copacetic as we would have thought with him being in office in the first place. And so, who knows? We'll see. But I had a really good friend of mine kind of pull me to the side, and he was like, look, like, yes, even if there were discrepancies and inconsistencies, Trump won. And Trump won because racism is very much alive in America. Misogyny is very much alive in America. So I was like, you know what? For just a second, I had this cinder of hope. And I think that's what the news I was seeing in that lawsuit that I saw was allowing me to re-believe, re-hope in the humanity of America, when in fact there is none. There is none. We're solidly in the Fourth Reich. Yeah, yeah. And so just, let's just keep it real. Like, if things happen from that and we discover whatever is great, okay, cool. But even the fact that Trump got into office in 2016, even the fact that it was as close a race as it was in 2020, like, like, what is that saying, that half the country, that 76 million people are full on fucking racist? I mean, like, what else can you say? What else can you attribute it to? Especially after we had 4 years of him and we knew who he was and we knew what he stood for and we knew the types of people and the types of heart sets and mindsets that he called for. So, that's how I feel about it. But I don't know, man. It's all kind of wild. But for those of you who are not on TikTok, I can show you my site a little bit. This is, let me flip it. This is standwithsophie.com. And as you can see, I have several options for supporting and joining my squad, including free ones. So if you just want to join me for free, so you get updates on things, you get my Sophie's Survival Guide instantly for free. And this is it right here. So as you can see, it's just a kind of bare bones. Here's what you need to adopt the right mindset. Here's a reading list. Here's some gear lists that you might, some gear that you might want to get. I love this page because it's all about how to hack your phone, how to get your maps offline, how to fake a home screen. So even in just this free survival guide, you will walk away so much better prepared in the event that some shit pops off. Because again, it's better to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And then again, set it and forget it. Survival is tomorrow. So we don't have to keep being in a state of alarm, but we know that if some shit goes down, we're ready. And that's really all I'm trying to do here. So yeah, you get this survival guide for free. And then if you actually want to support with some sort of a monthly payment or a one-time payment to help donate to the cause, you actually get my full survival kit. You get free live trainings every other week. We, again, specific to you, go through your situation, set up your contingency plan, look at your phone, go through your gear list, make sure we look at your state, your city, what might potentially happen, what things you might want to be aware of and go through. So, yeah, a lot of community tools. So check it out, standwithsophie.com. That's me. But again, I'll just kind of give you the 3-minute rundown of the headlines from the future for today, because baby girl is also wide awake. Yes, you are. Hi there. So let's run it back. Again, hi, I am Sophie of Stand with Sophie. I'm Sophie of standwithsophie.com, where we have survival guides, live trainings, printable action cards in multiple languages, secure comms, everything you need to help you stay safe and help us get through Trump's America together. I was lucky enough to escape the United States. And so since I live in the UK, I'm able to give you the news you can use from the future. And I can't be disappeared for doing it. So let's jump right in. Today, is 115th day that Adriana Smith is still being used as a human incubator for her son, despite the fact that she is brain dead. The appeals court has allowed Trump to keep the National Guard that he federalized against the governor's wishes in Los Angeles temporarily. They are on day 7 of their protests against ICE. Furthermore, Pete Hegseth said that he refuses to adhere to any sort of court order that would say that his Marines shouldn't be deployed, which is very scary. That should be very telling. California Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from Kristi Noem's LA press conference, which, again, as horrible as it is, nothing's going to come from this. Nothing's going to happen. No one's going to be reprimanded. Nobody's going to be removed. So, sucks that it happened, but here we are. DeSantis omitted references to LGBTQ and Hispanic communities in the latest Pulse Remembrance. The Pulse nightclub massacre was being remembered because it happened yesterday, June 12th, and back in 2019. And every year there has been an homage to those communities, and this year it has been omitted, mainly because Trump's America, we don't care about DEI or those communities, so they're allowed to be erased. There has been flooding in San Antonio that's left 5 people dead already. There are rescue operations ongoing, but it's just very telling that these sorts of incidences in a red state, no less, are going to continue. They're going to get worse because climate change is real, and because NOAA, NORAD, and especially FEMA are being gutted by Trump to the degree that after this hurricane season, Trump plans to actually disband FEMA altogether. So, yay for that, I guess. The House GOP was busy. They just approved a $9.4 billion package of Doge cuts. They only got it approved by 1 vote. But it's absolutely... Oh, so she said you can smile because you're bilingual speaking Welsh since you were 3. That's awesome. Oh, I'm missing some comments, y'all. I'm sorry. Rooster says, vote out all liberal Democrats. Problem solved. Sir, wait, are you talking about the UK or the US? I'm out of the loop, y'all. I'm missing too many comments. I'm sorry. He said MAGA New Year, everyone. Oh, I know, Steve. Rooster, if you're saying vote out all liberal Democrats, but you have an American flag by that, are you not aware that the Republicans are the ones who are in control? They are in control of the House, they're in control of the Senate, they're in control of the executive branch. So like what possibly could happen if more Democrats get gone? They don't matter right now anyway. Let's see. No, I can't speak Welsh. I can only speak a little Spanish. And I know one word in Arabic, ahad asharha, which means 11. Here we go. French, and I'm the most interesting man in the world. He said you're nothing. Damn. Okay. Oh. Welsh is fascinating. It's beautiful. We actually had a whole list of Welsh names that we would have named our kids because they're just so different and unique, and they have interesting vowels or no vowels at all. It's very cool. So yeah. Anyway, the House has been really busy. We talked about how the House GOP approved $9.4 billion in Doge cuts. The thing is, that's a far cry from the $2 trillion that we were promised. So, what a lackluster final hoorah from Elon Musk, which is just insane. Also, the House votes to claw back $1.1 billion from public media. So once again, this is our time to shine. This is time for the constituency to really, really listen when they say, hey, we're supported by viewers like you. Let's support them. Follow them on social media. Make sure you give when they have their campaigns and their fundraisers when it comes to NPR and PBS and things like that. So yeah, this is something to keep your eye on. Now this has not passed the Senate, but it will. It will. In international news, Israel, I shouldn't say it, Israel hits Iran's nuclear and missile facilities. Um, this was last night, and just this morning, Iran has retaliated. They launched over 100 drones at Israel in retaliation specifically. So, yay. Franz Ferdinand at it again. Trump Ferdinand. Um, so that's it for the news that you can use today. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope this is helping you to know what's going on without it dominating your life and your mind. As bad as some things are, and as bad as we're seeing the trajectory of things go, especially with Israel, even Ukraine and Russia, like we're seeing some good traction there with them exchanging prisoners, over 1,000 prisoners of war, and Ukraine really stepping up to defend itself with those drone strikes and things. But as far as the world landscape, things aren't looking very good. So let's just keep our eye on things, but let's try not to let it again worry us throughout the day. So, we still have each other. We're absolutely still going to make sure we get each other's backs, okay? Sophie, are you in England too? Hi, Dee. Thanks for the heartbeat, Dee. Really appreciate that. Oh, that's so sweet. She said, I always love seeing you. You're on when I'm at work most days. Yeah, I set the time to be 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's never happened. So I might need to make it like 11:30, just be a little bit more consistent. But it's just tricky because I'm a stay-at-home mom, so this is my job is standwithsophie.com. And apart from that, I'm watching my baby who is now wide awake and so cute. Oh my god. So let me go play with her. And I will see you guys Monday morning with more headlines from the future. I really appreciate you joining. I really appreciate all of the comments. Yeah, follow each other. C follow Sophie. Sophie follow C. D. Everybody follow D. Everybody follow Polly. Follow the wireless woman. Yeah, these are folks who are just so good-hearted. A lot of them do their own lives and have their own things going on. So stay in touch, because I'm going to do a video really soon about just helping us all build our algos better, because TikTok's not going to help us do it. Clearly, if somebody like me, who's very obviously liberal, very obviously left-leaning, can come on here and I see half the comments before my actual friends start kind of coming in, comments that are very MAGA, very pro-Trump, like, who are you? Why are you here? Johnny and whoever the fuck else, like, why the fuck are you here? If not because TikTok seems to think it's fucking hilarious. I don't. But they seem to think that that's who wants to see this kind of content. So I think we need to do a better job of helping each other to follow and be followed by the people who actually understand that we are in the Fourth Reich. Shit is bad. Trump is evil. And we got shit to do. We got shit to do as far as building our community together. So, yes. Yes. So with that being said, I'll call it a day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Set It and Forget It Survival. I believe it's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Or oh my god, I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 p.m. No, 7 p.m. GMT or UK time, but 2 p.m. Eastern. Set It and Forget It Survival tomorrow. So follow and check that out. And thanks, oh my god, thanks for the taps. We got to almost 3.5K. That's so phenomenal, you guys. So thank you so much. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, so I love you all, and I hope you love one another, but with permission, my friends. All right, I'll see you guys later.